Have you ever wondered why someone suddenly becomes quieter after you leave? Why they stop reaching out? Yet somehow, they keep finding little ways to stay connected. Sometimes missing someone isn't loud. It doesn't always come with long messages, emotional confessions, or dramatic apologies. Sometimes, it hides behind silence. This is the story of Ethan and Sophia. A story that reveals 7 subtle signs a woman may miss you far more than she'll ever admit. When Ethan accepted a new position in another city, he expected life to become easier. A fresh start, a better career, new opportunities. What he didn't expect was how difficult it would be to leave certain people behind. Especially Sophia. For almost a year they had worked together. They laughed together during coffee breaks, shared ideas during meetings, teased each other over the smallest mistakes. Yet despite growing closer every month, neither of them ever admitted what they truly felt. The day Ethan left, Sophia smiled. She congratulated him, wished him success, even helped organize a small farewell lunch. To everyone else, she looked perfectly fine, strong, happy, supportive. But Ethan noticed something unusual. Throughout the entire afternoon, she barely looked him in the eyes. Every time he caught her watching him, she quickly turned away. He assumed she simply wasn't comfortable with emotional goodbyes. So he didn't think much about it. After moving away, life became busy. New office, new apartment, new routine. The first few days passed quickly. Then something unexpected happened. Sophia completely disappeared. No messages, no calls, no reactions to anything he posted online. Nothing. At first Ethan thought, maybe she's already moved on. Weeks passed. Then one evening Daniel called. Daniel still worked at Ethan's old company. During the conversation he casually asked, "So, have you spoken to Sophia lately?" "No, really. She hasn't contacted me." Daniel laughed softly. "That's interesting." "Why?" "Because she asks about you almost every week." Ethan froze. "What? She never asks directly. But somehow your name always comes into the conversation." "How's Ethan settling in? Is he enjoying the new office? Did he find a good apartment? Does he still work late?" Daniel smiled. "She acts like she's just making conversation. But everyone notices. She misses having you around." That surprised Ethan. "If she misses me, why doesn't she message me?" Daniel shrugged. "Some people don't know how." That single sentence stayed in Ethan's mind. Sometimes people miss you deeply, yet convince themselves they shouldn't show it. A few days later Ethan uploaded a simple picture online. Nothing special, just a cup of coffee beside his laptop. Within minutes, Sophia viewed it. She didn't like it. She didn't comment. She didn't send a message. She only viewed it. The next day, another post. Again, she was one of the first people to see it. This happened over and over again. Every photo, every story, every update, always watching, never speaking. One evening Ethan finally asked himself, if she doesn't care, why is she always here? People often believe silence means indifference. But psychology tells a different story. Sometimes people watch quietly because staying connected feels safer than revealing how much they miss someone. Another week passed. Ethan received an unexpected package. There was no name inside, only a small notebook. As he opened it, he immediately recognized it. Months earlier, he had mentioned wanting to read that exact notebook for personal growth. He had forgotten about it completely. Inside the cover, a tiny handwritten note. Thought this might help. No signature, no explanation, but Ethan instantly recognized the handwriting. Sophia. She remembered something he had mentioned months earlier, even after he had forgotten it himself. That wasn't coincidence. People rarely remember tiny details about someone who no longer matters. Later that evening Ethan thanked her through a message. "Thank you for the notebook." Several minutes passed. Then came the reply. "You're welcome." Nothing else. No emojis. No conversation. No questions. The message ended there. Yet somehow, it felt warmer than a long conversation. Because she hadn't denied sending it. She simply chose not to say more. The following weekend Ethan returned to visit his old city. He didn't tell many people. Only Daniel knew. By chance, Sophia found out. Daniel accidentally mentioned it during lunch. "Oh, Ethan's here this weekend." Sophia looked up immediately. "He is? She tried to sound casual. When did he arrive? This morning. Oh, she nodded, then continued eating, or at least she tried to. A few minutes later she quietly asked, "How long is he staying?" Daniel smiled to himself. He had seen this before. People who don't care usually don't ask follow-up questions. That evening Ethan stopped by his favorite cafe. As he walked inside, he couldn't believe what he saw. Sophia was sitting near the window. She looked just as surprised. "What are you doing here?" She smiled nervously. "I could ask you the same." Neither of them admitted that the meeting wasn't entirely accidental. After ordering coffee, they talked for nearly 2 hours. About work, life, family, dreams. It felt strangely easy, as if no time had passed. When Ethan stood to leave, Sophia suddenly became quieter. "So, I guess this is goodbye again." He smiled. "For now." She nodded slowly. "I hope everything goes well." There was something different in her voice this time. A softness, a sadness she couldn't completely hide. As Ethan walked away, he glanced back. Sophia was still watching him leave. She didn't realize he'd turned around. The smile had disappeared from her face. Only then did Ethan truly understand something. Some people don't say, "I miss you." Instead, they remember your smallest words. They quietly check on your life. They ask mutual friends about you. They appear where memories still exist. And they watch you leave, long after you've stopped looking. But Ethan still didn't know the biggest truth. Sophia wasn't only missing him. She was fighting herself every single day to avoid telling him. On the train back home, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about Sophia. She had never said the words. Not once. Yet somehow, everything she did spoke louder than any confession ever could. For the first time, he began noticing a pattern. Every small action, every quiet moment, every hidden gesture, they weren't random. They were signs. Signs that someone was trying very hard not to reveal how much they missed another person. Several days later, Ethan's birthday arrived. He wasn't expecting much. His phone buzzed with messages from family, coworkers, and old friends. Hours passed. Still nothing from Sophia. He smiled sadly. I guess Daniel was wrong. By evening, he had almost forgotten about it. Then, at exactly 11:57 p.m., a notification appeared. "Happy birthday, Ethan. I hope this year brings you everything you've been working for." That was all. No heart emoji. No long paragraph. No unnecessary words. Just enough. Yet Ethan noticed something interesting. Out of hundreds of people, she had waited until almost the end of the day. Not because she forgot, because she had probably rewritten that message several times before finally pressing send. Sometimes, people who miss you the most overthink even the simplest text. Weeks continued passing. Sophia still never started long conversations. But somehow, she never truly disappeared. Whenever Ethan posted an achievement, she was there. Whenever he looked happy, she quietly viewed it. Whenever he went silent for several days, she somehow found a reason to check on him. One afternoon, she finally sent a message. "Hey, Daniel said you're working too much. Don't forget to rest." Ethan smiled. It wasn't really about work. It was concern, disguised as casual advice. People often hide care inside ordinary conversations. Because ordinary feels safer than vulnerable. One weekend Ethan decided to test something. He stayed completely offline. No stories, no posts, no replies, nothing. 3 days later, his phone rang. "Sophia." He answered. "Hello." There was a brief silence. Then she laughed awkwardly. I actually called because I wanted Daniel's number." Ethan smiled. "You already have Daniel's number." Another silence. "Oh, I forgot." Neither of them believed that excuse. Sometimes people simply need a reason to hear someone's voice, even if that reason makes no sense. As the conversation continued, something changed. Sophia laughed more than usual. She asked questions. She listened carefully. Before hanging up she quietly said, "It was nice talking to you." Those 5 words stayed with Ethan for the rest of the night. A month later, Ethan returned to the city again. This time, Sophia suggested meeting first. Not Daniel, not the old team, just the two of them. They walked through the same park where they had once eaten lunch during work breaks. Everything looked familiar. The benches, the trees, even the small cafe nearby. Sophia suddenly smiled. Remember when you spilled coffee all over those reports? Ethan laughed. You still remember that? Of course. Then she mentioned another memory. And another. And another. Moments Ethan himself had forgotten. That's when he realized something powerful. People don't carefully preserve memories of someone who means nothing. They remember because those moments still matter. As the sun began setting, they sat quietly on a bench. Sophia looked ahead. Without warning she asked, "Do you ever miss living here?" Ethan looked at her. "Sometimes." She nodded. "I do too." He smiled gently. "You still live here." "I know," she whispered. "But some people don't." For a moment, neither of them spoke. No dramatic confession. No romantic speech. Just silence. But sometimes silence says everything words cannot. Ethan finally understood the seventh sign. When someone constantly creates opportunities to relive old memories, it's often because those memories are the closest they have to the person they miss. Before leaving, Sophia handed him a small envelope. "Open it later." He nodded. During the train ride home, he carefully opened it. Inside was a single photograph. It had been taken months earlier during a company event. Everyone else had been cropped out. Only Ethan remained. On the back was one sentence. "Some people leave, but they never really leave your mind." There was still no confession. No, "I miss you." No, "I like you." No, "Come back." Just one honest sentence. And somehow, it meant more than all those words combined. Psychology teaches us something fascinating. People express missing someone in different ways. Some become louder, others become quieter. Some text constantly, others only watch from a distance. Some say, "I miss you." Others remember every detail. Ask mutual friends. Keep old photos. Protect old memories. Find excuses to check on you. Worry when you disappear. And never truly let you leave their hearts. If you've noticed these signs in someone's behavior, don't rush to assumptions. Everyone expresses emotions differently. The strongest feelings are often the hardest to admit. Sometimes pride gets in the way. Sometimes fear. Sometimes past pain. And sometimes, they're simply waiting for a sign that it's safe to be honest. So the next time someone pretends not to care, look beyond the words. Watch the actions. Because actions often reveal what the heart refuses to say. And perhaps, the person who never says, "I miss you," may be the one who thinks about you every single day.